Sorry, it should be good to go now.
All right, welcome to another Friday Night Live. This is the pregame. I'm coming to you from Detroit, Michigan. This is Kia Fry. I am here with some amazing women in business, Sharita Mayberry and Mama Karen Stump. Listen, it is my pleasure to be able to talk to you ladies, and we are speaking tonight on big events. You know, we have the Builder School coming up, and it is going to be phenomenal. That's October 4th. And so, it's something just special and magnetic when it comes to the builder school. So I have some questions to kind of get people. Well, first, let me back up and just say what builder school is, right? For those of you who are tuning in for the first time. And so we always say that it is 6 months worth of training just jam packed into 2 days, right? But it's so much more than that. And so we're just going to have a discussion about that and kind of just share our experiences and what that looks like. So, just kind of getting started, I often remembered my first builder school and what that was like, right? And didn't know what to expect, coming in completely green, right? But just knew that I was just fired up and wanted to be there. So, Sharita, kind of share with us, what was your first experience at builder school? What was that like for you?
Absolutely, Kia. Great to see you and everyone. So it was amazing. I was excited because I'm like, okay, so you mean there's going to be millionaires there in the room, and I'm going to be in there with them. And then not only that, they're going to be pouring into me to tell me what to do next in my business and that I can do it just like they did. I'm like, I'm there because from what I've understood in the past, millionaires don't tell people how to be a millionaire. So I'm like, oh, I'm in. So it was amazing just to be in the room, and again, to be around some millionaires and thousandaires and all that. And hey, pouring into me, like, okay, girl, you can do this. I did it. It's nothing. So it was amazing. It was amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, Mama Karen, tell us, about the energy. What was the energy of your first builder school? What was that like for you?
Man, everybody's standing up and clapping and cheering. Like, where else? Like, where else do they clap and cheer unless you're at a big like concert, right? Or something like that. Like, but they're cheering for like each other and for the person that's on the stage. Like, it's, some people bring like noisemakers and things like that, right? But yeah, like there's somebody that brings a horn all the time. I forget what his name is, but like there's always people that make extra noise, and but we all do. We all do. We stand up, we cheer, we clap. It was just exciting. It was kind of like, what is this? Like like the first time there, you're like, oh my gosh, like this is kind of weird, right? But it wasn't weird. Then it wasn't. It was weird at first, but then it's like, okay, I'm gonna hop in here and start cheering and everything too. So, like, yeah, like just cheering for everybody. Everybody get no matter what, no matter how long they've been in the business, right? That was the nice thing. That was cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the energy is magnetic, right? Like when you come in, like you were saying, it's just different because, most of the time we're coming from corporate, we don't get to experience feeling made special. So having everyone stand up and clap and seeing that, and it's like this is every day. This is what you guys do, right? So I just remember being that in that environment for the first time and saying, this is amazing. And so it made me want to continue to be a part of that culture because I'm like, why can't I be a part of something every day where people are celebrated for what they do, regardless of how long, like you said,
Right.
Karen, how long they've been in the business. So, what do you feel, going back to you, Karen, was your most memorable experience being at Builder School?
Hmm. Um, I'm I'm not sure. I mean, there's different places that I've been to the builder schools. So I've been to two different locations in Florida when I've gone, and then up in Michigan also, right? So that's at least three places. But like probably when I was the times I'm doing better in the business when I was walking on the stage and my name was up there, right? So I've had ups and downs when it is and when it's not. Like, but when you're the one that's gets recognized and you walk across the stage, and collect your whatever, even if it's just a handshake, right? but they call your name or you're going up there for something, that's exciting. Um, but then there's also a few of the um, the people that spoke, I can't even talk, the speakers,
Uh-huh.
the ones that touch your feelings, which a lot of them do, but they share their deep, their their they're vulnerable, so they're sharing what their deep thoughts and feelings, and it touches me, and it touches a lot of people. And like when you start crying or tearing up, that's the ones I and I say I remember them, but then I don't remember all the people that do that. Mario Arizon, of course, he does that to me. I hear a story, I've heard his story a lot, and every time, every time it touches me. And there's been a couple other people. Yes, I'm sorry, I don't even know. I can picture the one guy's name. It was in Florida at Lakeland, but anyway, like there's a lot of those touching ones that just touch your spirit, and you're like, that's so reachable.
Mm-hmm.
It comes down and reaches your heart, and then you just want to like, I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah, it does. That's one of the things that, you can't always put a finger on it, on who it was, but it's always that one story at that moment that you needed to hear that you can identify with, that makes you understand like what their journey was in the business and that you can see yourself in them. And then that makes you know that this is worth it and that you'll be able to accomplish those same things, right? And it allows you to be able to push forward. So, Sharita, did you have a quick memorable experience that you wanted to share?
Sure. So, well, for the first one, it was great. All of them were amazing, but like I didn't have any teammates there, right? And then the next one, I had one, and that was really exciting. My one teammate, she drove from Virginia, so that was exciting for me. And then the next one, it was more exciting because I had like three teammates there. I was like, oh, okay. So, okay, this is how this goes, right? So, just, people coming from all across the world and just making that decision to get there. That was exciting for me and coming together with the team that I just see on Zoom all the time. And, what I'm saying, putting the faces um, together with those beautiful people. It was great. So yeah, that was good for me, seeing the growth.
That's awesome. And that kind of brings us to our next question. So you really teed it up, right? So how do you think that attending builder school boosts the morale of the team, and continues to solidify the unity within the team and build camaraderie?
I think it's kind of like a realization, like, when you come together with the team, like, okay, this is possible. Like, I'm again meeting these people or whatever, and just, being there with them, the energy and everything. And it's like, okay, so this is real, and these people really care, you know what I'm saying? And are wanting to help me get where I want to be. And so it's just like a reunion type of thing for me, just meeting up with the team and seeing that it's all real and that, what I'm saying, this is possible. So,
Absolutely. Especially with today in the Zoom world, we're constantly seeing each other on these little boxes, right? And then you get a chance to put names with faces. So, Karen, how do you think it breeds unity?
Exactly. Like just like that you're saying, it's like you go and you can like, oh, now I can actually hug you, right? So by the way, I'll hug you all if I see you. No, that, but like you come up and like you meet. I feel like I know a lot of y'all. Like even though I don't know you or I haven't met you in person, I have met a lot of you in person. But like just to see people and hug them and stuff, and that's because I'm that kind of person, right? It's like I know some people that hate hugs, right? But too bad, right? No, just kidding.
not
Um,
Absolutely.
but I mean, I think that's part of it is just like that connection. It's another connection. It hits the touch part of it, right? Like there's of your of your senses, like right? So like all the senses and then and not just the touch, like you can smell them, hopefully they smell good, right? Right. When you hug them. But
I
but
would
but
hope
really,
so.
but really it's part of like just the whole relationship of the team, right? And of the business, everybody, even if they aren't specifically in your regional vice president's office team, they're in Primerica team, right? So that's good.
Absolutely. It allows you to be able to put the pulse on your team, right? To feel the heartbeat of the culture and everything and basically bridge the gap between being virtual and being in person. So, Karen, why do you get excited about Builder School and how do you prepare?
Um, well, I am a procrastinator in where I stay, by the way, but so I don't prepare that. I just prepare by I think about like what do I want to get out of it? Like what's the one thing that I want to hear, even though I probably hear it all the time, right? I Daniel's my regional vice president. He probably tells me all the time, right? My son, if you didn't know that, he's my son too. But also Jerome and Mel or Jarrell and Jackie, Nate and Mel, like and hearing other people on trainings, no matter where you are, you hear it many times, but sometimes the in-person one, when you're there and they say it then and you're taking the notes, that's what hits you. That's what hits me. So like I'm like, I've tried to think about like what am I struggling with or what's my mindset about right now that I need to hear this time. Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. Sharita, how do you prepare? And what do you get so most excited about when it comes to Builder School?
Great question, Kia, because you actually helped me out with this. I'm not sure if you know it. I talked about it last week, but be expectant, right? You have to go with an expectancy of like, what am I going to get out of this? Because as Karen said, yes, we do hear this all the time. And I'm sure Coach Jarrell and Jackie and Nate and everybody have said it to us, you know what I'm saying? But it's just that moment that when you hear it, like more is caught than taught. So if you're there, and be expectant and like, okay, I'm going with a purpose. Let me see. Last time I went, wanted to know more about prospecting and the spousal support and everything. And so I got some different views on it. Some of them I didn't like, but I was like, okay, I'll see. It makes sense. So yeah, just being expectant, and getting what you came to get out of it for yourself.
Absolutely,
So
being intentional, right? And so as we
yes.
wrap up, we got about a minute and a half, right? So with this, like thinking back to being brand new in the business, right? What is the one thing that you wish that someone had prepared you for when it comes to going to big events? It's kind of a loaded question, but see if you can tackle it. Go ahead, Karen.
I think I think our regional vice presidents do a good thing of preparing us, right? But so I think it's being more intentional and going up to people and talking to people that you don't know, but
Mm,
also they talk about going to people that have a ring on their finger, which means like it looks like a Super Bowl ring. If you don't know, it's when Nate's showing his ring, right? So that means that means somebody has made $100,000 in a rolling 12 months or more, right? So those people know what to do, right? We all we our trainers here, they all know what to do, but those people have gotten there and no matter what it is like I was never bold enough to go and talk to anybody else but the people that I knew or I came with, right? And I still don't always do that, but yeah, going to talk to the other people that are there, not just the ones that are.
Absolutely. And so with that, we are at our time. But so what I'm getting is just go talk to people, be expectant, be intentional, and you will have an amazing, amazing builder school. And so with that, I'm going to kick it off to the amazing Melanie Brayley so that we can have some announcements. Mel B, take it away.
Thank you so much, Kia. All three of you did a phenomenal job. I'm so excited for Builder School. You all have to get there, and we'll touch on that in just a minute. So happy Friday. I know it's been a minute since I've seen your faces, and I'm just so excited to share some announcements with you. So let's kick it off. The first slide is telling us that it is, where you at? There we go. We Do What's Right September. Just that title fires me up because we do what is right all the time. And you have to believe in that. So kids are back to school if you have kids, and the fall is the time to come alive. So get yourselves ready. It's going to be an incredible month ahead. We ask that you are on time, which if you're on now, you are on time, I hope. Have your cameras on. If you've ever spoken before or you want to ever speak, you know, you want to be looking at smiles, not blank screens. So get those cameras on, take notes. You have to remember everything that we're saying. I know we think we will remember them, but it's better to write it down so you can reflect on it, you know, in the future. And be open to learning something, okay? The people speaking have been picked specifically to teach you on a topic that they are passionate about, and they're here to educate you and to teach you. So get excited, y'all, because this training is going to be amazing. But right now, I want you to get excited for trips. We just got back from an amazing vacation to Colorado. I know Nate will talk about it eventually, but the times we just said how grateful we were for Primerica and to be able to travel. And this trip is completely free that you're competing for right now, okay? Even the new person you're going to see on the next slide in a second has a chance at this. So they're taking you to Florida, Margot Island, the JW Marriott Resort, and it's in February. And I know we live all over the place, but in Michigan, February is miserable. We are done with the snow. We want the warm weather. And it's one of the dreariest months of the year. So no better place to go than to Florida. So you are competing from now till November. And if you think you're out of it, whether you're brand new or you just kind of haven't been doing what you thought you needed to win, there are 100 new slots for this Gulf Coast getaway, okay? So depending on what level you are fighting at, you can see how many extra slots have been added. And there's a couple more months, you know, 2-3 more months to complete. So get those appointments set and get going. Be a life champion. Look at this bonus, everybody. If you are a licensed rep, means you've passed your test, you hold a life insurance license, and you personally make your very first sale, that has to be a minimum of $800 in premium, which is not hard to accomplish, okay? You get a $100 bonus and a really awesome Life Champion certificate that would look pretty sweet hanging behind you somewhere for when you're on appointments, okay? Then the person that brought you in, if they are also licensed, they get $100. So one sale on top of commission being paid is getting 2 people a $100 bonus. Y'all got to go fight for that. That's an absolutely incredible bonus from the company. But we all love swag, right? Who doesn't love repping Primerica swag? And this month, when you personally do 1 new agent, 1 recruit, and 1,000 in premium, or 1 new agent and 10,000 in securities volume, you get a pretty cool hat. Leaders building leaders, okay? I'm telling you, all of this swag is on purpose. It creates conversation when you are out and when you're wearing it. The ring, the watch, the t-shirts, the jackets, people are asking. Even in Colorado, that ring that we had on our hand was quite a conversation maker. So get yourselves this amazing hat. And
this is crazy.
Yeah, this one, I had to read it a couple times to understand it for you all, but field training bonus for recruiting.
So this is for our newest new people.
Okay, so you're brand new. You personally go out, you get 2 new people on your team and $2,000 in premium. So you already earned your hat by doing 1 new person and 1,000. Go do that again, okay? And look what you're going to get. You have to log into the app, which hopefully you did that right after you started in the company, okay? You're going to bank an extra $200 in field training bonus credits on top of the $400 you already earned.
Yeah, it's huge.
So $600 for doing 2 new people and 2,000 in premium. If you're brand new, you're probably like, I don't even know what she's saying. I'm here to tell you. He's here to tell you. Everybody that's been around is here to tell you. That's insane. Everybody needs to go fight for that. So if you're brand new, look at the amount of money the company is trying to throw at you. So you got to get some licensing.
Right into your promotion.
Yes.
Of getting promoted. I mean, that's huge.
So much is on the line for just bringing on a couple friends or agents and helping a few families with their life insurance. So get to work. This is amazing. We were talking about it. You have to get your ticket. If you don't have your ticket to the Builder School, stop what you're doing right this second. and text whoever brought you in and say, I want my ticket. How do I get it? Because,
Scan right there.
oh, beautiful.
Just
Sorry.
scan right
You just
there.
scan right here. Don't
QR
text
code it.
anybody.
QR code it.
Oh, this is beautiful. They make it so easy for you. Scan the code, get your ticket. We want to all get a hug from Karen. Okay. I know I do. I love seeing everybody in person, but the speakers that we bring out have been in the company for so many years and are just so wise and inspirational. And I promise it'll change your life.
Yeah, I mean, Jerry and Rhonda just crossing $2
Yes,
million
$2 million.
in income.
It's crazy.
That's huge. That's a big deal.
And lastly,
Oh.
you do not want to miss a bombshell announcement at the end of training. I don't care what you have to do tonight to stay on to the very end. You should never log off early. I understand things happen at times, but tonight you take your phone with you. I don't care because y'all want to hear this, okay? I am not the person that's about to tell it to you. I'm here to get you fired up for what's to come. So I know what it is, and I'm fired up. Okay. So keep yourselves engaged. Be so expectant tonight to learn something and then stay on for the end. You don't want to miss what we have to tell you. So I'm so excited to bring up the first speaker or second speaker of the night after myself and the ladies before me. This beautiful woman is an incredible leader. She is a division leader in the company. Okay, she's an amazing mom. I'm so inspired by her daily, and a future regional vice president. I can't wait for that promotion to come through. I know it's going to happen. Bring it up, Sierra Brent.
Thank you, Mel. That was quite the introduction. Way to make a girl feel special. All right, guys, I am fired up after hearing all of those incredible announcements. Like, what? I am very intrigued to hear what this bombshell announcement is. I have a feeling I know what it is, but yeah, so tonight I am honored to be able to teach you guys this very, very important skill, which is prospecting, right? Drop a 1 in the chat if you have ever heard of 5 to stay alive. Perfect. All right, can everybody see my screen here? Jerome, can you see my screen? Give me a thumbs up. All right, perfect. All right, so we're gonna be talking about prospecting tonight. So number 1 is, why does prospecting matter, right? Like what's the purpose? Why is it important? Because people are the inventory to our business, right? Without new people, your business will not grow. Prospecting equals your lifeline. If you are not growing, your business is dying. And I hate to sound so morbid, but it is the truth, right? And these systems keep you consistent. Okay, so if you haven't already, Mel already went over it, but go ahead and get out your paper and pen, take some notes, because you're going to want to have notes to look back on. All right, so what is the 5 to stay alive? These are 5 renewable sources that you can gain prospects from. Okay, and when I say prospects, I don't just mean recruiting prospects. I also mean client prospects. Okay, so you need 5 areas to diversify in so that you are constantly filling your pipeline. Okay, you don't want to just pull from one area. I mean, that may work for a little while, but it's not reliable, right? To just consistently pull from one source. So the 5 to stay alive, number 1 is a hot and warm market. Number 2 are referrals. 3 is networking group / community. 4 is social media. And 5 is cold market and out and about prospecting. So we're going to start with hot and warm market. Okay. If you are brand new, and all of us have been new at one point, you know that when we start training you, we start with your hot and warm market. Why is that? Because it's the easiest market to get into. People do business with people they like, they know, and they trust, right? So getting to connect with your family, your friends, your coworkers, classmates, right? That's going to be the easiest people to get in front of. 1, it's a great place to practice, right? If you're brand new and you don't know exactly what to expect, what you're really doing, you're just learning everything, the best place to start is with your hot and warm market. And you want to invite these people, not just pitch to them, right? You want to invite them to take a look at what you're doing, right? we all have our certain scripts. Most of our team here uses the same scripts, right? But it's, hey, I want to show you what I'm doing now. Maybe you or someone you know could benefit from what I've got going on. And I just want to give you enough information that you can share with someone that might be able to benefit, right? So hot and warm market. This is going to be your bread and butter, right? This is the perfect place to start. And honestly, within all of these 5 areas, you really want to stay in a hot and warm market, right? Cold market, we're going to talk about it, but it's a little bit harder to convert a cold market into a client or a recruit. But hot and warm market. We've got referrals as number 2. Now referrals, obviously they're hot and they're warm, right? They might not be hot, but they're warm, right? Maybe your mom, right? She works with somebody and she referred you to them, right? That's a warm lead. Why? Because your mom knows them, right? She's probably mentioned them to you at some point, vice versa, right? They know of you. It's not just a cold, I don't know this person. So a really great place to get referrals is from your current clients, right? So after every single appointment, you want to ask, you want to make that ask after every single appointment, whether that's a recruiting appointment, a life insurance appointment, an investment appointment, one of our ancillary products, right? After every single appointment, you have to make that a habit. And that is something that me and my husband actually have been implementing here recently, is making sure that we ask that question at the very end. Number 2 for referrals is, who do you know that might be able to benefit from this information, right? Who do you think that deserves to know this information, right? We all know that financial literacy is very scarce, right? They don't teach us this type of stuff in schools. And it costs money to be able to buy courses and all that stuff to learn about finances. Here, we offer this education for free, right? And if you meet with a person and you have a client, you're already teaching them this stuff and they're gaining value, gaining education. And so you ask them, hey, who do you know that's in your life that could also use the same education, right? I don't know about you, but we're all kind of, going through it in this economy, right? I'm sure that you've talked to your friends like, hey, I can't do this weekend because funds are low, right? Or, hey, I just got a new job, right? If you know that somebody just got a new job, they most likely have a 401k that can be rolled over into a personal account, right? So just knowing that this is the information that you are giving your clients for them to think about, oh, I came across this person today, I can refer them to my my financial person, right? So keeping that in the back of their head. You also don't know who you're going to come across, right? We always talk about in this business, one person can change the entire trajectory of your business, okay? One person. Sorry, my kid's knocking at the door, but yes, you can have a popsicle. Everybody knows Calvin III. But anyways, one person can change your entire business, right? Some people know people, right? Some people know a lot of people. And so they might have contacts that can put you in front of those people that you need to meet to change your business. So don't just think, okay, I'm asking for a referral and they only give me one contact. That one contact could mean everything. Okay. So that's referrals. All right. We have networking and community. Okay. So this one's a big one. So there's a lot of different places that you can network. Okay, as you can see from my giant list here. All right, so we got a couple different groups and areas which fall under this category. But the first one is local groups and events. So what is this? All right, so this is your BNI groups, which stand for Business Networking International. All right, so these are usually groups that you do have to pay like a membership fee to, right? So if you do have the funds to put forth and invest into that, those are really great ways to get in front of more people. Chamber of Commerce, your local Chamber of Commerce, same thing. They usually have membership fees, but those are really great ways to get in front of other business professionals. Not only to, work to get them as recruits or clients, but also to get into their market, right? You always have to think about that. Yes, you want to, you want to meet with this person, but you also want to get into their warm market, right? Young professionals, women's groups, men's groups. Okay, so those are your networking groups. I definitely recommend you attending at least 1 to 2 networking groups a month, or events a month. Okay, so even if you aren't like a member in a networking group, there's free networking groups. I was actually talking to one of my teammates yesterday. She was like, "What can I do? How can I get more leads?" And I was like, "Networking groups. You can search on Facebook, literally type in networking groups, and it'll pop up all the events that are near you." Eventbrite. Eventbrite is also a really great way to find networking groups. And once you start looking for those things, the algorithm, right? We all know about how social media works, right? If you search something, it's going to continue to pop up on your feed now. So once you start searching those types of things, you're going to see them more often, and you're going to have more options. So definitely get out there and put yourself in those environments to be able to network. We also have faith and service-oriented groups, right? So this is your church, spiritual groups, community service, nonprofits, right? Just being able to get in front of more people. People are the inventory to our business. Our business is a numbers game, you guys. The more people you talk to, the more your business is going to grow. Charity events, fundraisers. If you get invited to any of those things, or not even something that's related to that, but like birthday parties or, baby showers, whatever that may be, you get invited to something, go to it. That is a way for you to meet people. Community and lifestyle. So these are things like your mom's groups, parenting groups. This can be on social media. This can be off of social media, PTA, school committees, right? Get involved with your kids' school, right? You're able to meet people that way. Homeschool groups. Sports. This can be for you as an adult if you're into sports, or your kids. If your kids are in a sport, get out of your bubble, go talk to some parents, right? Interest groups. So this is like your hobby-based clubs. So book club, or I don't know, your sourdough club. I know sourdough is a big thing, right? Making sourdough bread and sourdough treats and things like that. So like just whatever you're interested in, get into those groups. One, it's gonna obviously, fill your cup to be able to be in those types of things that you actually are interested in and have hobbies in. But it's also a way for you to meet people, right? It's all what it's about, is just meeting people. And when we talk about all of this, you're networking, you're meeting with people. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to walk up to them like, "Hey, I have a business I'm trying to grow. Can you help me?" Like, it can just be a normal conversation. You guys, it doesn't have to be a right away conversion into them being a client or a recruit. You have to build relationships. Okay. All right. And then lastly, on the community and lifestyle, we have gym, fitness clubs, fitness classes. This is like if you like to go to yoga or CrossFit or whatever that may be, you're able to meet people in those spaces. All right, so now we got social media. Now, social media has its pros and cons, okay? And I have been in the social media space for going on 6 years now, okay? Social media is a great way for you to get in front of a large amount of people, right? Like, you have the world at your fingertips, right? However, I just want to say, you can not only pull from one of these areas. So you can not only pull from social media. Social media is a great way to educate people, right? You get on there, you show a little bit of your personality, you educate people, and that helps you build relationships with them. This is your digital storefront, okay? Now, I'm not telling you to go and just flood your feed with everything Primerica, everything financial services. Do not do that. People are going to be turned off by that. But this is your digital storefront. So they do need to know that you are open for business, right? You have to kind of like turn that open sign on, right? And by doing that is making some posts here and there, educating people where you can, right? So share your values, share value, share your stories, right? There's a lot of great ways to utilize social media. Especially if you don't know that person, like you've never met them in real life, right? to be able to share your stories, they can find value in that. And that really builds that relationship and builds that trust. So when you make that post, maybe it's like once a week that you make a post about your business, right? And you've been engaging with certain people, right? Your stuff's gonna pop up on their feed, okay? And they're gonna be like, oh, I actually need some life insurance, or I actually need to set up a will or trust, or I just quit my job, so I do need to roll over my 401k into a savings plan, right? These are really great ways to do that. Engage, just don't post and pray. Okay. You have to engage. Do not expect to grow or gain anything from social media if you are not engaging. Social media the algorithm is made to recognize when you are engaging. Okay. So if you're just posting, scrolling, your stuff is not being seen. You have to like, share, and interact with other people. Okay. So that's huge. All right, we got cold market, out and about. So this is your everyday life. You're going to the grocery store, out to eat, right? People that you meet daily. Be natural, be curious, right? If you have a really great server, right? Maybe you just love this server. At the end of your meal, hey, do you like working here? Like, start up a conversation. It's a normal conversation. It's okay, it gets the bills paid, right? Well, are you keeping your options open when it comes to making money? Actually, I am. I have been looking for a second job. Well, I am actually looking for people. I am opening an office here in the area, and I'd love to chat with you, see if this would be a good opportunity for you. Exchange numbers. Easy as that, okay? So that is your cold market, out and about. And then to wrap this up, you have to work all 5 of these consistently. Okay, you cannot pull from one of these areas. You want to diversify, right? And that's helping you. That's for your benefit. Okay. When one of those things slow down, the other will pick up. A full pipeline equals a growing business. So I hope you guys got some really good things from this this evening. I hope you got some good notes. But that does wrap up my talk. I am so excited and honored to bring up our next speaker. This is our investment guru here. He is an OG in the business, and he is all about some investments, and I'm excited to hear his talk this evening. Please welcome Jeff Miller.
Thank you. Great job, Sierra, and the panel earlier today. Happy to be here on Friday night and educating you all about finances and investing. Man, what they said so far has been gold. Please take notes. I've already taken a lot of notes, and that 5 to stay alive is going to make or break your business. You got to just always be in front of people, talking to people. So I'm going to share tonight. I've been asked to speak about investing accounts for minors and what's out there and what are some of the most popular options for people. And let me just start by saying, I think this is a really important topic for a variety of reasons. Number one is, look, a lot of us are parents, and I see a lot of you guys, working with your kids in the background, and they're popping in, they're knocking on doors, asking for popsicles, right? And, a lot of us have kids, right? And we want to see the best for our kids. We want to see the best for our families. We want to leave the next generation better off than what we started with, right? So we're talking about building a family legacy, right? Through helping people, through recruiting, through investing, and that sort of thing, right? And if you're not a parent yet, that's okay. But you might be a nephew or a niece, or, you might have family members that have kids or cousins or that sort of thing that you can talk to. So that's number one, right? I think number two is that, we're talking to our target market, right? I mean, your trainer, even if you're brand new in the business, had you make a list, right? They're qualifying the list. Are they married? Do they own homes? Do they have children? Are they working? Right? So, every single person that you're going to do a kitchen table, a qualified kitchen table appointment where you're showing them about the products and services that we offer and doing a financial plan for them, they have kids, most likely, if they're a 4 or 5 pointer on that thing, right? And number three, the market rewards patience. I always want you to remember as an investor that the longer you have to invest, the better off you're going to be. Okay. like if you understand the rule of 72, if you understand compound interest and how fast your money could double over time, depending upon the interest rate, you will see that someone in their even 20s versus someone like me, who's much older than that, will have a huge advantage on me because they just have a longer time to invest. Does that make sense, guys? So like, we want to talk to people about starting for their children. And if you run any type of financial calculation, you will see there's an astronomical difference of what somebody could have if they start even as a teenager, but we're talking about minors here. Okay, so let me kind of go through some things, and this is just going to be an overview. If you ever Google or go online and research stuff, you'll see that there's probably a dozen things that people can participate in. Okay, I'm going to talk to you about 3. And I've been out in the field a long time, and when I talk to people about this subject, these are the 3 most common accounts that I talk to them about. Again, there's more, and there's stuff that's special circumstances for different things, okay? The very first account I'm going to cover with you is called the UGMA account or the UTMA account, UGMA or UTMA, okay? Basically, UGMA stands for United Gift to Minors Act. UTMA, say that 10 times fast, is very similar to that. But it's basically a brokerage account or an investment account opened by a legal age person on behalf of a minor, right? We have to be of age to be able to drive. We have to be of age to be able to vote. We have to be age to buy alcohol or whatever, right? A minor can't make decisions on how to invest, where to invest, what they should be investing. So we need to talk to someone who can on their behalf, okay? There's 2 terms you're going to have to learn in the investing world. One is called a qualified account, and one's called a non-qualified account. Anytime you hear the word qualified, it simply refers to some sort of retirement account or something that has a tax advantage to it. It's either going to save me money on taxes now, or it's going to save me money on taxes later. Okay, that's called qualified. Then there's non-qualified or brokerage accounts. Those typically don't have any tax advantages to them, okay? This UGMA account is a non-qualified account. It's an investment account that will allow someone to go ahead and buy mutual funds or investments, okay? And their money can grow just like other accounts, but there's no really special tax purposes to it. Now, a person of age sets it up for the minor. Technically, the minor is the owner of the account. So the money is theirs. It's just someone speaking on behalf for them. And depending upon the state, it's either called an UGMA or UTMA, basically the same thing. And the age of coming of age is either 18 or 21, depending upon the state. Okay, so if you Google the state, it will list what it is. Initially, the account will be in the adult person's name, and then ownership will automatically change to that person when they reach of legal age. There is no maximum contribution limits. People can put as little as $25 a month in, or a maximum of pretty much whatever they want. There is no tax savings, this is a non-qualified account, so you don't get any tax savings or deductions to do this. But when somebody does sell the money, if they make money on it, it will be taxed, right? So the money they put in has already been taxed. That's their principal. But if they make money, then that, depending upon when they sold it, will be taxed one of 2 different ways. We're not tax people. Let's say that again. We're not tax professionals. Leave that to the tax professionals, but you should kind of know generally how taxes work and what to be prepared for. So if there is money generated while this is accumulating in value, you will get some income tax statements because, again, it's not qualified. The cool thing about this is there's a lot of flexibility. So when the person becomes of age, it's their money. They can pretty much do whatever they want. Hopefully they're responsible and hopefully they're doing things that will better their situation. But I've heard stories of people using it to spend for college. I've heard people buy a car with it. I've heard people put a down payment on something on their first home or whatever. So you're not really tied to anything. It's just a good way for a parent or somebody that you care about to get a head start, right? Just start putting something away on a regular basis so that by the time they're 18 or 21, they're not starting from zero and they have a little bit of money accumulated. The second thing, and this is in no particular order of importance, but is 529 plans. I think a lot of people with kids have already heard of that, but they're basically college savings plans. Okay. When I sit down and talk about investing with people, I'm always asking, like, what's their time horizon? What's their risk tolerance? And what's the purpose of their money? Like, what's the end goal for this money? What's the goals? Well, the end goal of a 529 plan is to use that money for college, right? Just like the government set up years ago retirement plans and 401ks and IRAs and all these retirement. That's the whole purpose of them, is to put money for your future self, right? In this particular case, it's for putting money towards college. And it was named after the 529 Internal Revenue Tax Code, okay? And it's basically this is actually a qualified investment account to pay for qualified educational expenses. What is an educational expense? There's tuition, there's books, there's room and board if they're going to college and live in a dorm. There's school supplies like computers, other things, right? And up to, the first hand, I think this was created like 30, 40 years ago, but recently they've changed it where now you can use these monies not necessarily for college, but also private schools and other, K through 12 type of thing. Okay. So once again, an adult opens the account on behalf of a minor. It's for the benefit of the minor. Okay. And, so, I have two sons and create a couple different 529 plans for them for their benefit. Okay. It does provide tax advantages. So it is qualified. They grow tax deferred, meaning sometimes in these mutual funds, they have dividends or bond interest. They don't have to worry about paying any taxes on it. And the withdrawals are generally, they're exempt from federal taxes, meaning I'm not going to have to pay anything on it because from a federal standpoint. 529 plans are usually offered in almost all the 50 states, and they're offered by multiple mutual fund companies. Primerica actually has 6 partners that we work with and that represent 6 different states. And if I happen to buy a 529 plan in the state that I reside in, then they're exempt from state taxes. But let's say I buy one from New Jersey or something like that, then when I take the withdrawal out, I have to pay state taxes on it, but not federal. Guys, there's a ton of information on Primerica online that covers all this. You can go to the UF, here it is, go to US investment tab on POL, then it's a marketing resource tab, then an education savings tab, and then it will list the 529 plans that are available. The last account, the third account that I'm going to cover tonight is the Roth IRA, okay, which is usually you put money in with after-tax money, but it's great because it grows tax-free, and when you take the money out, you pay 0 taxes on it. So once again, we're basically just setting up a retirement account for a minor, okay? Again, the minor can't do it themselves. The minor is, the adult is making the decisions, and once the minor becomes of age in that state, they become the owner of it, okay? Now, here's the difference. The difference is the monies are put in, must be earned income. I can set up a 529 plan for my children or grandchildren. I can set up an UGMA account for my children or grandchildren. I can gift them money, and that could be the source of where that money comes from. But when it comes to Roth IRAs, the important thing here is that the child should have earned that money. Now, obviously, there's a lot of ways children can make money, okay? Believe it or not. I mean, they could be babysitting, they could be cutting lawns. You can actually pay them to do chores. What if you have the cutest baby in the world and somebody wanted to put them on the cover, brand their whole company around that, going commercials, or they could pay for photographs. It could be hundreds of things, but it has to be earned. Did they actually earn it? It can't be a gift. Roth IRAs are great because money grows tax-free. And like I said, you don't ever have to pay taxes on it. And the contribution limits are $7,000 currently for 2025. To kind of wrap this up, how do I get clients? Well, number one, very first thing I did is I made a list of everybody that I knew that had minor children, right? I started with my family first, and then I just made the list and I qualified the list, and anyone that was in that had the children under the age of 18, that's who I talked to. And then I set up an appointment with them to run a kitchen table appointment, right? For new people, kitchen tables are where we have the opportunity to talk about who Primerica is, how we help people, the importance of financial planning, that sort of stuff, all the different products and services that we offer. And then I want to schedule a financial needs analysis, right? The financial needs analysis, the written plan that covers their life insurance, it covers their debts, and plan for retirement. A lot of questions come up when you're doing the financial needs analysis. You don't have to think about the questions. It literally tells you what to ask them. Okay, so follow the system, follow the process, and you'll run into this. And then if you don't have the opportunity to have a KT or to talk, just ask people questions. We're investigators. We're trying to put together the puzzle pieces of someone's life, and we do that by asking about them, asking about their kids, asking about their goals, asking about their dreams, right? And I just ask simple questions like, "Hey, have you ever thought about what's your thoughts on paying for college? Do you think your kids are going to go to college? Have you thought about saving for that?" Right? Just ask them questions to find out what their goals are and have they even done any research on it yet. I also target like new grandparents, right? Anytime I think we're growing to a point where kids still get gifts, they still get like toys to play with. But I've had so many people over the years tell me, "Man, I would rather give my son $100 and my grandson $100 than buy him a toy they're going to outgrow and forget about." Run a financial calculation. If you started off with $1,000 when at birth, and never add to the account, and by age like 67, you'll be a multimillionaire. Okay, because time is on your side. That's the gift that keeps on giving, right? You give someone $100, allow it to grow. You can set up monthly contributions with this. You can do lump sums with this. There's no better gift to me, in my opinion, than to start somebody off with an investment at an early age, and they will be absolutely blown away by the results when they wake up and later on in life and they need that money. Guys, it's my pleasure to be one of your coaches and to help talk to you tonight about this. And I hope you got some nuggets with that. And next up, I'm really fired up to announce that we're going to be doing some recognition, and we have the great Melody Cooper to do that. So put your hands together and get ready for some recognition.
Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to Friday Night Live recognition. Let me pull this up for you guys. All right. Let me know. Can you hear the music? Is it good? Did I forget to share my sound? We can hear? Yes? Thumbs up? Thumbs down? No? Can't hear it. Okay. Sorry. See, I always do that every single time. All right. Hold on, friends. I promise it's not my first day. There we go. There we go. All right, all right, all right. Recognition. Do me a favor, friends, and cheer your friends on in the chat as you see their names coming through. They have worked hard to get on these leaderboards on this recognition for the week. So we've got personal recruits for the month of September. Number 2, Dylan Manka, Brittany Alvarado, Sierra Platt, Jerome and Melody Cooper, Dawn Fersler, Ashley Torres, Supreme Smith, Catherine Black, Jenna Shelley. But there is only one number 1, and that is Jarrell and Jackie. Moving right along to personal premium month of September. Got number 5, Sharita Mayberry and DeWatt Hood. Number 4, Alyssa Cantrill. Number 3, Jennifer Jack. Number 2, Dan and Taylor Romai, but there is only one number 1, Jarrell and Jackie. Personal security, number 5, Dan and Taylor Romai. Number 4, Dinesh and Kim Boxy. Number 3, Kia and Margaret Fry. You heard from her earlier in the pregame panel. Number 2, Nathan and Melanie Braley. But there is only one, number 1, coming in at over $100,000 in a securities rollover already for the month of September, Cassandra Rigney. Way to go, Cass. All right, we've got team recruits below Regional Vice President. Number 3, Catherine Black, Ashley Torres, Dylan Menka, Lisa George, Dawn Firstler, Shayla Brown, Brittany Alvarado, Supreme Smith, Sierra Platt, Kia and Margaret Fry. Number 2, Brooke Fox, Megan Hovermail, Jenna Shelley, and Karen Stump. But there is only one number 1. That is Sharita Mayberry and Duwad Hood. We have team recruits, your top 3 regional vice president and above. Number 3, Team Grind. Number 2, Redemption Base Shop. But there is only one number 1. The Fearless Hustlers. We have Team Premium below Regional Vice President. Top 5 for you. Number 5, Ken and Carly Spence. Number 4, Sharita Mayberry and Duwad Hood. Number 3, Kelvin and Sierra Brent. Number 2, Alyssa Cantrill. But there is only one, number 1, Jennifer Jacks. Way to go, guys. We have Team Premium, your top 3 regional vice president and above. Number 3, we have Team Grind. Number 2 is Team Redemption, but there is only one, number 1, and that is the Fearless Hustlers. We have your new promotions and licenses. Guys, this young lady just got licensed today. We didn't even get a picture for her yet. It is so fresh. Please give it up in the chat for Selena Cooley for passing her life test today. Great job, Selena. We've got your stud trophy. This is the ultimate recognition for the night. This is the top personal producer from the last week. This is the most new teammates. This is helping the most family, buying term, and invest the difference. Let's remind everybody of last week's winner. That was Nathan and Melanie Braley. Let's see if they'll take that trophy again. Number 3, third place, Nathan and Melanie Braley. So close, so close. Number 2, Jarrell and Jackie. But there is only one, number 1, and that is Cassandra Rigney. One more honorable mention to my son Trey for putting together our playlist. So these were the ultimate bangers. So anyway, there's that. He's very pleased. He's very pleased I'm playing his playlist. He's in my room smiling right now. Oh, guys, that was so good. I'm so proud of you all. We had so much good recognition this week. I love seeing those numbers moving, those below regional vice presidents on their way to their next, getting their next. I have the honor of bringing up our next speaker, Miss Jackie, and she is going to talk to us about the power and purpose of some of the tools that we have to use within our business, specifically Telegram. Take it away, Jackie.
What's up? Thank you so much, Mel, for the introduction. And hey, shout out to you amazing leaders for blowing up the leaderboards for recognition, you guys. Hey, give another round of applause for all of you guys that are out there competing each week. I am so darn proud of you guys. So drop some fire in the chat to celebrate each and every one of y'all. But hey, you know, I'm excited because this is one of the most important tools that was ingrained inside of me, inside of this business 5.5 years ago, you guys. Yes, you said it here, right? 5.5 years ago when I first started, how important Telegram is for your business. I know a lot of leaders use this amazing tool to really grow the excitement and the energy within their organization, you guys. But I have a question to ask y'all. Drop in the chat. Who here checks Telegram first thing in the morning? Drop in the chat. I would love to know who checks it first thing in the morning, right? But okay, so we got Mike Fry, Jeff Miller, Coach Jarrell, Coach Dan, Alyssa, we got Breezy. Okay, Coach Nate. Wow, such incredible leaders, you guys. Wow, thank you for coming on and sharing. So, Telegram isn't just another app, you guys, within your business. It's our heartbeat. It's our culture. You know, it's allowing for you to be in action, you guys. And I'm really going to break down to you guys why Telegram is so important to be here and be in this business as well too, y'all. So I'm going to be moving along, you guys, to my next slide. Why Telegram matters. You know, one of the things that my regional vice president, Shane and Melissa Douglas, taught me a few years ago is Telegram is like your social media. And social media is one of the greatest tools that I use within our business as well, but it's our communication, you guys. This is the everything that's important. It's the updates, it's the announcements, it's the wins, right? So that's one of the key components within this too. And think about it this way as well too, you guys. It's an energy aspect to your business. It's where energy flows. You're going to notice there's success stories. There's promotions happening. There's encouragement happening within our business. And shout out to Walia Cooks within our team as well too, you guys. One of the most pivotal parts about it too is she's in there encouraging others, celebrating others, you guys. And I have to shout you out, girl, because you're one of the key components inside of our organization and what makes Telegram matter as well. And guys, even though, think about it this way, guys, drop in the chat, what state are you in? Hey, this is going to be engaging tonight, you guys. I'm going to keep y'all on your toes because there's going to be a key component to why I'm teaching y'all this, right? It's the digital version of our office. This is for part-timers. This is for full-timers. This is for people who aren't in person, right? And guys, look, we're scattered across the nation. How powerful is that, right? So you guys got to keep in mind too, when you go into the office setting at work, or you may go into even just an office like ours, there's energy, there's excitement. People are talking, people are sharing wins. They're talking about what's their next strategy to win big in what they're doing, or hey, who's performing the best in the office, right? Guys, that's why Telegram matters. That's why it's so important. And to keep that in mind, you guys, is you get to be a pivotal part of that. And so this is where I get to lead into our next. Think of Telegram as your own team. And so, Veronica, if you had your own team, how would you want them to engage? Brooke, how would you want them to engage, right? Maybe drop in the chat, you guys, how would you want your team to engage? Because you're here to act like an owner, not a visitor, right? And so Telegram is important for you to be a part of that leadership and that excitement. And so every post, celebration, recognition, it's a chance to build belief into others because, guys, you don't know what's happening in that person's life. They may not be having the greatest of day, or maybe something really pivotal is happening in their life. And you get to have that chance to build belief and show them that, hey, this thing is powerful and this thing can change your life. And that's why Telegram should be treated like it's your own team, guys. And, my coach told me from the very beginning, treat Telegram like it's yours. And if you guys go look back, or you can even ask my former regional vice president, Shane Douglas, was I the loudest in Telegram? I sure dang was. I was the loudest. But you want to know something, though? I was inside the base shop. I wasn't a regional vice president yet. So I was the loudest. I was doing videos. I was celebrating others. I was the quickest too, because I wanted to win here. And so that's when I really dropped that, because guys, success leaves clues. It really does. And that's where that level of engagement teaches your future team how they'll engage as well too. And so that's where that's really going to be pivotal in helping you start and taking things to the next level within your business, you guys, as well. And so what does engagement look like? So maybe you're wondering, how can I engage? How can I create this? And this is moving into my next slide too. But where are you going to create that engagement? So here's some examples that maybe you guys can implement today, right? So one of the biggest ones is celebrating others. So, Leah, I'd be like, hey, man, you're such a rock star, girl. Way to go on setting that appointment. Or, oh my gosh, way to go for bringing on that business partner. Or, oh my gosh, Ellie, way to go for completing your certificate exam. And guys, drop some fire in the chat because she completed that bad boy before training today. Guys, those are the things that we're missing. Those are the things that we have to celebrate. We got to clap our hands. We got to congratulate them. See, guys, See what we're doing in the chat right now? We're creating excitement. We're engaging, right? And that's where you got to be consistent. Check daily. Don't miss big news. And guys, I'm not saying you got to have your phone up in your face 24/7, right? Checking Telegram, but maybe put some reminders in your phone, Breezy. Hey, check it in the morning. Marissa, maybe check it at lunchtime on your break. Or Megan, I know you're a hairstylist, girl. Check it between clients. Maybe drop a little something in there. You know, that's what I used to do, right? You know, just things that I could do to keep it engaged. That's one thing I knew I wanted to create. Ask questions, share value. If something helps, share it, because a lot of us are wanting to come to a common goal. And so one of the things that I've really learned, you guys, is don't suffer in silence. If you're, let's say you're having a tough day and nothing's going right, or maybe something tough is happening in your life, maybe go in the chat and be like, hey, how are you guys doing this? Or how are you overcoming this? Or, how can I create this to have a great day? And that's where you guys can lead it to keep it positive, right? It's not a place to complain. It's a great place to create energy and encouragement and growth, but always ask questions. Be inquisitive. You need help, ask the team. Guys, I can imagine inside of your Telegram, there's more than one person inside of there, right? There's probably a few more people in there, right? So ask the team, guys, because one of the biggest things, or I would say maybe the biggest challenges or mistakes you're making right now in your business, is not reaching out to your team or your coaches. That's something that you need to be doing on a regular basis. I was the loudest voice in my coach's ear. I was like, hey, coach, hey, I'm having a tough day today. What do I need to do to spruce this up? What do I need to be doing to take this to the next level? I was eager. I was excited. And guys, that's something that you can implement every single day. Or, hey, maybe, I have tough days too. I have to, rock with a 2.5-year-old every day. And sometimes that's not the most exciting, but it is, right? Because I get to be present for him every day. But it's not always rainbows and butterflies. So, hey, what am I doing? I'm always thinking about what can I do to make this better in my life as well, right? So those are things that you can do to create engagement and to stay consistent within it as well. And so rounding us out, why culture in Telegram is so important, you guys. Culture equals the invisible glue that holds us together. How many of you guys have been in a work environment where it just did not feel the greatest? I actually was on a Zoom today with a gal that she's actually leaving her job due to some harassment that was going on in her workplace. And she's like, I can't do this. I'm going on maternity leave. A lot of us ladies have been experiencing some inappropriate stuff. And so they're leaving. Culture is important, right? You guys get to go take people away from that and put them into something where they can be comfortable. They can be excited. And how exciting is that? I told her that today. I'm like, wow, I'm glad we met each other, because you get to be a part of something that is comfortable and that's exciting and that you can bet your life on. And I'm getting her started on Monday. That's something that is so powerful that you got to keep in mind as well too, guys. And moving on to my next slide as well. Why you bring value to Telegram. Oh, my son's kind of messing with my stuff. Hold on just a second, you guys. Why you bring value to Telegram. When you engage, you make the space vibrant and alive. What I loved about what Kristen Askins did last night is she popped a video in there as well. What was beautiful about it is she came in and did a really great video, and it was lively. It was her. It was her personality. And Jarrell and I have had a really great relationship with her and her husband, Ryan. And shout out to Kristen, you guys. She's on a tear, guys. Like, that lady has set 10 plus appointments over the past 2 days. This lady is on fire. And so she's bringing value to Telegram, just her presence, being excited, showing like, hey, you can dream big again. You can grow your activity. You can do this. Being a full-time working mother, 2 children, a husband that works a ton, guys, and a lot of sports activities and everything. You can do this, right? And then also shout out to Mike Fry, guys. One thing I can bet on about Mike Fry as well too, guys, is he doesn't make our Telegram silent. He brings it lively every single day. And you would love his story, you guys, through corporate America. And he's going to be a future regional vice president. I can bet you on that. He brings energy, because imagine a silent Telegram, you guys, probably wouldn't be the most fun, right? Dead, no energy. When you really think about it, doesn't it kind of kill the momentum a little bit? Yeah, you don't want to be a part of that type of environment, right? You want to be in a lively one. And that's where you can go in and create engagement, right? And then I have to shout out the amazing Sharita Mayberry, having a record-breaking past couple months, being consistent. She spoke earlier, you guys. You know, she's in there thriving with the team, engaging Telegram, guys. There is one thing I can always say about Sharita is I never go a day without talking to her. And Sharita's been in my life the past almost 5 years. What, Sharita? Yeah, like thriving, motivating the team, talking to everybody, building relationships with them, excitement around the mission. And that's what Sharita's so great at, you guys. That's how they bring value to Telegram, and why Telegram is so valuable for your business as well too, you guys. So with that being said, how can you start preparing? Telegram teaches you how to recognize and celebrate. It teaches you how to create excitement. It keeps everyone plugged in, you guys, because man, guys, if it weren't for Telegram, I wouldn't have, to be totally honest, I wouldn't have known you completed your certificate test today. That's why we've created such an engaged environment inside of our Telegram, right? I see so many wins. Haley Trapp last night completed her certificate exam for Ohio, dropped it in Telegram. That's a win. Keeping everyone plugged in, celebrating the little wins, because when you celebrate the little wins, the bigger wins are going to be even more magical. And so that's what Telegram teaches you, is to be able to invest that in your business as well. And so the way you engage now, guys, is practice for when you run your own bake shop or your own team. And so moving into my final slide before I close, you guys, preparing you for leadership. Leadership is not just about results, you guys. I know, I think a lot of us come from corporate America, and what we've noticed is results is what's been taught in that. But guys, it's actually about building culture. It's actually about building community. And the difference between empowerment versus disempowerment culture, the culture that you live in and that you thrive in as well too, you guys, is so important for you to stay. Because guys, imagine if you weren't in an empowering culture here. The likelihood of you staying here is very slim. But if you're in an empowering culture and you're excited and you're fired up, you guys, look what's happening in our chat. Fire emojis, excitement. Everybody is so engaged. That's how Telegram should be. That's how it should be engaged, because guys, a lot of you future regional vice presidents are going to be running your own team. You're going to be running your own shop. And so you have to start preparing for that level of leadership within your business. And with that being said too, you guys, you know, Telegram isn't just an app. You know, when I came in, I kind of thought that. I'm like, oh, Telegram's just an app, right? I kind of scroll through it, you know, it's like, oh, you know, I don't know. But one thing I've learned about it though, it's your training ground. It's your culture. It's actually your future leadership practice. You guys can go in and practice like you're on a baseball diamond, right? You get to practice every single day for preparing for leadership and as well. So guys, coming to close us out, we have something that we can really practice our leadership within. It's Midwest Builder School, you guys. This is the place where, you know, culture and the energy and the belief is going to be at the next level. You're going to see leaders you've never met before. You're going to see a lot of people that maybe you see inside a Telegram that will fire you up and leave you ready to build something greater. And so don't just attend, you guys, bring people, because guys, the more people you bring, the more culture it's going to create. And so that's where you guys get to be a part of this. You get to be a part of this movement. You get to be a part of something so special. And it does start with Telegram, because that is your hub for allowing for you to promote big events, growing your leadership, and then also to celebrating those, because those are going to celebrate you. And so with that being said, guys, I have one more to round us out. I want to ask you tonight as well. Do I have my ticket for Builder School? Whether it's in person or virtual, you got to lock it in now. Maybe you're at the point where like, man, like I didn't line things up for me to go. Maybe you line things up for you to go. Or with that being said, locking in that virtual ticket, guys, lock in that ticket tonight, you guys, because builder schools have changed my life. I will never forget the builder school I went to, you guys. That's actually where I met my better half, which I'm about to introduce to you here next, right? That's where I had officially met someone that changed my life. And it's beautiful because that was the first time I walked across stage. And that was the first time I had some of my amazing teammates that walked across stage all across the country, Tennessee, Michigan, Indiana. I had people walk across stage from Nevada. Guys, that's the power of Telegram, because we created a culture that allowed for us to be present and be in person. And so I'm going to ask you guys this today. After this chat tonight, what are you going to be doing with Telegram now? Hopefully this helped you with a thing or two, right? So without further ado, I am going to pass it to an incredible group of amazing speakers tonight, you guys. Yeah, blow it up. Let's blow it up tonight, y'all. Hey, I love it, Mike Fry. Thank you for that affirmation. Without further ado, introducing these incredible regional vice presidents that, guys, are going to help you create some mindsets around delivering some momentum in your business in the last few months of this incredible year and bringing it into an event as well. I get to do the honors of introducing my amazing partner and also the leader of this incredible panel. Take it away, Regional Vice President, soon to be $200,000 a year earner, Jarrell Borden. Take it away.
Well, thanks for you. That was all. It's crazy because you talk about builder school, and I remember that exact builder school. I think that was the builder school when we were literally getting the money bags and everything. And I remember it like it was yesterday, and it was a great feeling because that was actually the first time we got recognized as MVP. And so it's crazy because Kia talked about something memorable, and I remember that builder school in particular, and that was about 4 or 5 years ago, which is wild. But man, guys, listen. Thank you for staying on. You made it. We got something incredible to share with you guys tonight. So make sure you stay on to the end because we're going to be dropping the bombshell announcement tonight when this panel is over. So we're not going to drop it yet, right? We're not going to drop it yet. But I'm just excited that I get to be on a panel with a bunch of leaders, of actually a bunch of my brothers, right? My brothers from another mother that I call my brothers, and just really excited to share with you guys because I don't know if you guys know this or not, but we're in the fourth quarter, right? We're literally in the fourth quarter right now, Nate. And so fourth quarter is crunch time, right? And so, in business, it's go time, but same thing, in sports is go time, but same thing in business as well, right? Like you see where my mind is at, Nate, thinking about sports already. But I'm going to introduce you guys to some incredible leaders that we have on the panel. And, they're going to talk to you guys about what it takes to build something big, right? What it takes to build something big, how to get through some challenges. I mean, I know sometimes if life is life, who's ever going through something like maybe life is life right now? If that's you, put some fire in the chat, right? And they're just going to be able to help you get through that type of mindset. And so listen, let me introduce our first panelist on tonight. Listen, $400,000 earner, Senior Vice President Nate Braley, right? $200,000 earner, Regional Vice President Dan Romai, and then you got my brother from another mister, right? Regional Vice President Jerome Cooper. And so listen, guys, I'm just excited to be on with you guys. And so listen, Nate, we're going to start with you, right? And so, I just mentioned you're earning over $400,000 a year in this business. If you were brand new tonight, like brand new in the audience, sitting being in someone's shoes that just got started, what would you be most excited about heading into this fourth quarter?
Yeah, well, I'd be most excited about the opportunity that Primerica is going to, to give to you. And for the new associate on here, some of it may not even be understood yet, right? You hear these numbers, you hear, 400,000, 200,000 on your way to 200,000 in income, next ring earner. What does that mean? When I was getting started, when I came into the business, I knew the gentleman that brought me in. I've known him since kindergarten, right? And we sat down multiple times, and every time he took his income up another level. Like when we first sat down, it was $100,000. The second time was $250,000. And then when I finally got started in the company, it was $350,000. And I was just like, man, I didn't, if they're selling drugs to kids, as long as they're not doing that, I'm going to do whatever it takes, and whatever, coachability that I can have here. And then I started realizing the lifestyle of freedom. And that's what Mel and I got to experience this last week. We were in Colorado, and we were at a resort that nobody was at. Guys, they shut down the gondola, which is like this big thing that takes you up the mountain, and it only operates during the off season on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. And we didn't know that. We were trying to go on Monday. But it's so cool to be at a resort when nobody else is there. And the freedom that Primerica provides is what I would be most excited about for the new person here. That we came in third place for the stud trophy, right? And that's based on personal production for the week. And we were on vacation. That's because our investment volume continued to kick in while we were traveling. It's wild. Good question.
No, I love you said it. You talk about the freedom, right? And I just remember I put in the comments earlier about the snowbank, right? Just remember, I mean, we're still the same two dudes, right? No, nothing changed about us outside of like we just grown over the years. But I just remember falling in snowbank where I don't even think you were making 50,000 yet,
No,
right? And then
gosh, I was probably but maybe I had the watch. I don't know.
I don't remember this. It's just crazy because then you look at that time and then you see, you talk about the freedom and just the power of just sticking with it, right? Pushing through everything. Life is always life, and right. I'm pretty sure you've had distractions. Yeah, a lot of things come your way, but you just stuck to it, and now because of the sacrifice that you made, it was beautiful to see you and Mel and Isla like at the resort and just there. I'm like, man, I can't wait to see the pictures. I can't wait to see you talk about it too, bro. So I love that you share that.
Yeah.
So the next question is for you, Dan. One thing people struggle with is losing momentum as the holidays approach, right? And so, like, we're in the fourth quarter where you're going to get a lot of holidays. I mean, you got Thanksgiving, you got Christmas. I mean, you got literally, we just came back from Labor Day, right? And so, a lot of people start to lose momentum as the holidays approach. What's one simple thing you do in the fourth quarter that guarantees you finish the year instead of slowing it down?
Don't excuse me. Don't use the holidays as a reason not to meet. Use it as the reason why you need to meet. Right? Like I always talk to people about like, oh, Christmas is coming up. Like, okay, cool. Let's make sure that you have the budget in place, right? Let's make sure that you have a plan in place so you know that what you're spending, you're able to spend, right? Like that's a big thing like this time of year because people always try to use that as an objection, right? Like Jeremy, I always get people, well, not always, but a lot of times people are like, well, let's do it after the holidays because then I'll have all the presents paid for and everything's fine, right? I've heard that so many times. And I used to hear it in the gym all the time as well too. And basically like the way I look at it is like, no, that is exactly why you need to sit down in this industry to do that, right? Because our job, like the actual thing we're doing is helping you make sure you have enough money to do that very thing that you want to do. Right. So maybe you can't get started right away, Jarrell, but shouldn't we at least walk through what it looks like so you know what to expect in the new year when you get started? And then we get on the call and walk through and they're like, oh, that's all. It's only $60 or whatever. And then you get it set up, right? You're not going to close every single appointment like that. Like I just want to set a good expectation for you with that, but you'll at least get on more appointments, right? You'll get on you can't close it if you don't get on it, right? So helping them recognize the need to get on now. And then just from a recruiting standpoint, really quick, like, hey, Jarrell, this would be maybe a great opportunity for you to make a little bit of extra Christmas money. You think money might be tight. Like, Jarrell, what if we could make you an extra $1,000 in September, October, November, and December? What would Christmas look like if you just had an extra $1,000? And just ask them. And then again, you're not going to set every appointment. You're not going to close every appointment, but you're going to get on more than you otherwise would if you don't ask questions like that.
That's good, bro. So what I hear is two things. One, asking the right questions, which is important, asking the questions. And then two, just getting in front of people, right? And not allowing the holidays to slow you down and just knowing that you have a value that you can give to people that whether it's Christmas or not, you're going to give, they're going to regret not meeting with you, right? And then two, when the holidays come, I mean, most people are meeting with their financial advisors before the new year hits anyway, just because of tax advantages and things of that sort. And so just getting in front of people. I love that. So Jerome, this is we got a question for you too. Let's say someone's struggling right now, right? They're struggling in the business. Maybe the year hasn't gone like they wanted it to go, and maybe they're in their own way, like as far as like they're thinking, and they've been in business for a while, they feel stuck, or maybe they just haven't gotten that breakthrough yet. What would you say to help them reset their belief and finish the year with confidence?
Yeah, man. One of the things that always excited me about the business, like, we have like month ends, we're having a year end now, right? Is that you could have had a slow beginning to the year, right? You could have not ran your numbers, not gotten the licenses that you wanted to accomplish, all these things, and the company still gives you an opportunity to turn it around, right? Think about a job or your job. Some of you still you're working jobs, right? Let you have dropped the ball all year at your job. you'd be on an unemployment line right now, like looking for some new employment, right? But here, Primerica's like, no, like, hey, you got another month, another quarter to get your act together, right? So, that's what I would tell you. I would say, hey, get plugged into your leader, right? Because listen, all of your leaders, especially this regional vice president panel you see right now, the other regional vice presidents and regional leaders that spoke tonight, right? They've had slow seasons in their business, right? And they've worked through those slow seasons. Every last one of these guys on the panel right now, they can tell you like, hey, we've had a slow season in our business. So the best person to go to when you're in a slow season, which really is just a sowing season if you're actually doing the work, by the way, right? A lot of times people mix that up. Like it's actually just a sowing season, which means at some point you will reap. But go to those leaders because they know how to work through those time frames. So that would be the number one piece of advice that I would tell you, man, is like, hey, thank God you get another quarter to go and finish the year strong, Jarrell. So that would be my response to that.
That's good. So you're just saying that the business is giving us grace every single day to get it right and just get better. Just don't give up, right? And then I love how you said it's not a slow season; it's a sowing season. And so, what are you sowing? Who are you connecting with through those challenging times? So I love that you share that. So Nate, let's kind of stay there for a second because right now, I mean, would you agree? There's a lot of real challenges going on in the world right now. When it comes to like financial pressure, you got family stress. I mean, the term is now life be life, right? Everybody says that life be life and all the things, right? And so how do you personally keep your mind right so you can push forward in business?
So good question. And I'm so glad we didn't have these questions in advance, actually. I like the impromptu-ness. So life be lifing is, in my opinion, is people not prepared. And that's like across the board, right? And what I mean by that, and look, inflation is happening, right? Your grocery costs are up. Things across the board is expensive as heck. I mean, while we were in Colorado, I don't even know how much we spent. I mean, it was life be life, but life be life and differently at 400K in income. So, I don't think people really have a debt problem, in my opinion. I think they have an income problem. Now, I am a proponent of people need to spend less and start saving, having their emergency savings, their 6-month savings built up, things like of that nature. But at the same time, like it's a wild world we're in Primerica, where you can go help a family with life insurance, one family, you could go change their entire trajectory, save them a ton of money in life insurance, premiums, provide them with more coverage, less premium, and make $500 on one appointment. So, when life be lifing, you're in the best opportunity. Right now, you are in the grocery store. Some people, right? Not everyone, but a lot of people are in the grocery store starving. And there's food all around you. There's families to be helping right now. If life is lifing, it's because the cost of things are getting too expensive. Well, guess what? We put together a financial needs analysis to take a look at their budget to see where we can help them save money, where we can help them get out of debt, where we can help them free up money on home and auto insurance, on life insurance. Mortgage rates are getting ready to actually adjust again. They just dropped again. So we're going to head into a refi boom where we can wrap everyone's refinance their home into a mortgage, get them debt free, paid off the credit cards. But at the end of the day, this is a recruiting season, y'all. We are in the ripe season to recruit people. If life is life, and let it life at a higher income in Primerica. Bring them on board.
That's good, bro. Like that's a mic drop, and it's crazy because it just goes back to the crusade. I mean, you hear us say it all the time. I mean, if you just listen to what's being taught tonight, there's a massive, massive need for what we do, right? And so it just goes back to a dance of just getting in front of people, because when you get in front of people, you can ask the right questions. When you ask the right questions, you can know what groceries they want, right? Because there's enough for everybody to go around. And so I love that you share that. And so Dan, I want to ask you this. So, kind of staying where Nate said when we talk about life is life, and what is like one focus activity that someone can do right now that can help them change it around to create momentum?
Yeah, dude, it's funny you asked that. Like I've been yelling at our team, not really yelling at our team. Well, today I got a little bit, but ask Jerome. It wasn't bad. It was actually really good. But I've been talking all week long to our part-timers and our full-timers in the mornings about like your very first thing you do every day. Like what is that? Like because that really does set the tone for the day. right? Like some people make their beds, some people have all these different things, but I think you just need to have one habit that kind of starts the rest of them, right? Now, to just be a little bit more of like a Primerica answer rather than just like a general, like, live a good, effective, productive life, which is like a thing that gets you started in the morning. I think one thing you have to do every day is get new contacts. Like, yes, setting appointments is obviously very important. Like that's obvious, like that is right up there with it. But I really think that the contact thing for me, at least over the last couple months, has really proven to be almost more important to do consistently than set appointments. Now, do not hear me say what I'm not saying. Like those of you that are trying to listen for a reason not to set appointments, like I'm not saying just get contacts and never make calls, right? But if you don't get contacts, eventually you won't have anybody else to call, right? And that's why you need to make, and I could say, you know, could call it prospecting, you could call it friendship farming, whatever you want to call it, but just some form of contact creation, right? Which, yeah, it's exactly what Sierra talked about this morning, like social media, in-person prospecting, referrals, networking groups. I don't care what it is, but you have to have, like, you've got to figure out a way to build that into your like daily disciplines of getting at least one new contact a day. Really, two or three, in my opinion, is more than enough. Like Jerome challenged me back, I don't know what it was, like April maybe, to get 3 prospects every day. And I did that for 3 weeks, 21 days before I missed one. And in those 3 weeks, like we started closing every day within the end of those 3 weeks because we just started making an effort of getting 3 new prospects. Right. And I don't think about the word prospect necessarily being, you know, the lady at the gas station or your waitress. Like you don't have to spend money to prospect people. Like you can get a referral. A referral is a prospective client. It's a prospect, right? It's just you didn't get them by prospecting the way that you might think of the word prospecting, but you still got a new contact, right? So I would say, Gerald, to answer your question, like you've got to build that habit of creating contacts, and then equal maybe just one tiny step down from that is you've got to make calls. Like you have to set those appointments.
Yeah, no, that's good. And not that there's like one right answer, but I agree that that's the probably number one answer because in this business, the foundation is your 1,000-person name list. And so in
Yeah.
order for you to build a business, your foundation has to be solid. If your foundation is not solid, you need to be intentional about getting new names and numbers on a daily basis. And it's crazy because literally this past Monday, and we had $1 million earner that we were talking to told us like, this is what you need to be focused on every single week. You need to be getting 50 to 100 contacts a week. And if you're doing that, you'll never run out of people to talk to. You'll have your renewable source. You'll always be in front of people. And then everything else, and I love how Sierra talks about the 5 to stay alive, but then everything else will kind of take care of itself. But you got to be intentional about getting those 50 to 100 new contacts because you just don't know where your next stud is going to come from, right? But you just got to be willing to quantity, right, and not quality, right? You hear it all the time, quantity, because sometimes we're looking for quality first, but no, sometimes you got to dig through the mud. And you got to go through people to find people. So I love the answer. I mean, because it's funny because Mike will tell you, I've been talking about getting new names and numbers every single day. Like this, especially this week. That's all we've been talking about. Like, hey, start with the power of 5, right? Start with 10, like whatever you do, just get something. Don't end the day without getting in contact because you got to be sharing your business with somebody, right? You're in business for yourself. If you're not promoting it, who's promoting it? And most people aren't promoting it yet, right? And so until they see you start doing some things, and you're like, okay, let me go ahead and promote that. And so, Jerome,
real quick,
share
I'm
a
gonna
time of your
drop in just for a second because I want to give people a tangible thing here that makes it so easy. 20% of people are always going to tell you yes. 20% of people are always going to tell you no. So 60% is where you get better at overcoming objections and sales skills and getting them to move forward. But if you have enough people to talk to, like Sierra did a great job on 5 to stay alive, but having 1,000-person names list, prospecting new names and numbers, that you could be the worst closer in the world. But if you are in front of 100 people, as opposed to maybe somebody who's got a skill set as the best closer in the world, and they're only meeting with 10 people, you are going to be in a far better position to close business. And that freed me. So hopefully it frees you guys. Cause like, man, the more stuff I got on, great, things closed. So sorry.
That's good.
No. That's good though. It's good though, because when you think about it, not everybody's going to tell you yes. And that's okay, right? I think a lot of times we have to emotionally disconnect from the outcome. Like I think sometimes, Jeremy, we get so caught up like, oh man, Mike is going to be great. And he tells me no. oh my gosh. And you start going down a downward escalator where you're telling your things, all these negative things about yourself. And those are liars, right? That those things aren't true, right? And so you just gotta start telling yourself, like, hey, everything I touch turns to gold. And that's my mindset. That's why I tell people, like, when I talk to people, I could care less if they say yes or no, but I talk to them, right? And they're like, man, that millionaire walked past me 5 years ago. I didn't know what he was talking about, but I want to talk to him now, right? And so that's, and Jerome, we were talking about this yesterday, right? I'm like, just my mindset's different when it comes to people because I know what this business has done for us and I know what it can do for you. Now, whether you take it and run with it like we did, perfect. But at the minimum, you got a world-class education on money and finance. So you know more about money and finance than what you did before. You have a spare tire. This thing doesn't work for you, Breezy. Guess what? You got a professional license that at any point in time, someone's going to want to talk to you about money. Right. And guess what? Because you have that license, you don't even got to talk to you. So, you know what? You can talk to my senior vice president, Nate Braley. He's going to take care of you, edify him like crazy. And then he takes care of the client. And because you're licensed, you can still get paid off of it. And then that money hits your bank account. Like, that was pretty nice because they're not paying you $5, right? It's a nice chunk of change, right? And so it's a beauty. So I love it. So, Jerome, listen, there a time in your career where life was lifing and you almost coasted in the fourth quarter, but instead you decided to push through. What did you learn from that experience?
Yeah, so like first of all, just to hit on a few things that's been covered so far. That 20-60-20 rule that you just talked about, Nate, is most of you, just off the 20% of people that could tell you yes, could leave your job. Right? Like I literally, Nate, built my business off of that. Like it doesn't matter how good you are, doesn't matter how much you know. If you're talking to enough people, you're gonna have 20% of those people just tell you yes. Like, you know how many calls I've made and a person's like, I'm glad you called. I was thinking about getting some life insurance. I'm like, well, praise the Lord that you were thinking about getting some life insurance. Right? Must be my lucky day and yours, right? But I thought that was a big deal. And then you talked about like at the bare minimum, you get a world-class education in money and finance. Man, think about this training tonight. Man, that information that Jeff covered tonight, like 90% of people don't know about that stuff. Right? Like that was worth the entire training tonight, especially for you people that have kids running around. Like that was worth the entire training, man. A wise man leaves an inheritance to his children, and that right there can set your kids up for life. So to answer your question, Jarrell, dealing with tough times, man. What I found is, man, tough times don't last. Tough times don't last, and you figure out what you are really about, right? You figure out what you are really about, and whatever you figure out, here's the cool thing. You figure out like, man, hey, look, I'm tough as nails and I can deal with anything. So I know I can go build this business. Perfect. Good stuff. So some of you, that is you, right? Or you figure out like, man, I am a weenie and I need to get tougher, right? I need to learn how to deal with adversity in my life. And to be honest with you guys, like I know you see the Jerome now, but there was a time frame, Nate, and Nate probably could attest to this. He's been around as long as longer than most people on here, and Jeff, where Jerome was a pansy. I chickened out at every time there was a chance for me to not do what I needed to do, drop the ball on something. Jerome did it, and I had to self-regulate, right? Like I had to identify, like, hey man, like hey, I'm coming up to this door that I've been up to several times. Right, I've been to it several times. I've walked to it several times. Sometimes I even had the key in. All I had to do was turn that sucker and open it, and I would back out. And I had to catch myself. And now we open those doors, right? So in tough times, you never. I heard some great leaders say, hey, the L does not stand for you taking the loss. It stands for you learning the lesson, right? But the lesson, anytime you learn a lesson, it depends on the mindset and the state of the person. Are you in a position where you are taking an L, or are you in a position where you are learning the lesson? All right. So that would be kind of my response to that question, Jarrell. Man, like, listen, if you're in a tough time right now, you got to go through some adversity to get somewhere. right? Like it just doesn't. Everybody on here has made a road trip at some point. I would at least like to think so. Man, road trips suck. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was talking to one of my agents this morning about me driving back from Myrtle Beach after our like 10-day trip down there. I went and hung out with Dan and the family. And man, like I just wanted to get home on the way back, Dan. It was it was like 14, 15-hour car ride, man. I didn't let Mel touch the wheel. I'm like, I'm doing it, man. But when I got home, it was awesome. I was so happy to be home. The journey sucked, but getting home was sweet, man. So that's my response to that question, Drew. I know it's kind of loaded, but
That was fire.
No, that was good, bro. It was good. I mean, hey, we could talk about that. Like every question that we're talking about, we can literally pick a topic and literally expand on it in more detail and really be valuable to people. But no, it's great. And so I know we're running up on time. So Jada's he's having fun in the background. So I was knocking my glass down, y'all. Hey, listen, see, you can do this business with your kid. I almost knocked this glass down and I had to catch it real quick. So y'all would have heard a big bang. But listen, so I'm going to round this out real quick. But Nate, I got a question for you before we do like a rapid fire, and then we're going to drop the bombshell announcement tonight. But how do you balance being present with your family while still driving your business forward?
Ooh. Man, so I'm on the opposing side of balance. Okay. So let me be truthful and honest with you guys. Like y'all know I'm not really working. I haven't for like 2 years. Like I just met with my CPA today because we had extension on our taxes and you know, our income's not where we want it to be. But she's like, I've been watching your social media and you're just constantly like present and you know, you're with your daughter a lot and you're with your, you know, now Mel being home. But there was a season where life was out of balance, right? And Mel and I transparently during this vacation, we talked about we're going back to a season of out of balance. Like you're not going to see me at certain things. You're not going to see me at certain times. I'm going to get back hitting, you know, my appointment setting. I'm going to get back to meeting with clients, meeting with my associates. I'm going to have my one-on-ones. I'm going to have my coffees. I'm going to be at networking stuff. But this business allows for you to do that if you want, once it's built, right? Like once we got over the 1,000 agent mark, it allowed for me to have the freedom to do what I want, when I want. The passive residual income comes in and pays all of our bills, and that's freedom. Now we're financially free, but we're not wealthy yet. So that's why we're going to get back building it. But there is seasons in life. And actually, you know, Jarrell, it's a great question that you asked because honestly, I think about, unfortunately, like if we were in the season that we were in at Bank of America and Mel was teaching, we might not see Isla, but maybe 4 or 5 hours a day. Like early in the morning, waking her up, and then we got to pick her up from daycare or whatever, and then put her to bed. So, you know, look, there's going to be tough times. There's going to be tough seasons, but this is a business where if you are out of balance early on and you get the business built, you've got your momentum, you're going to be out of balance the other way where you have complete freedom of time, freedom of money, and you can spend all the time in the world with your family. So that's my advice to that.
That's good. I love it. So listen, we're going to do a rapid fire real quick and then we're going to drop this bombshell because I see we got like 60 seconds left and Mel's already betting on the over for us, right? And so listen, so
that's a loaded bet, bro. Let's be honest.
You can't put the 4 of us in a panel at the end and not expect us to go over a few minutes. Jeez, oh, Pete.
Hey, we're already over now. Look, so we got like 30 seconds. So she said, no real quick rapid fire with these 4. I love it. See, but you can have fun in this business, y'all. And so what will just be like the number one advice you'll give someone right now, whether it's life and they're brand new in the business, you know, what will be something that you'll give them so they can get their business going and thriving?
Who wants to go first? Me? I'll go first. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead,
I'm talking. Yeah, I mean, you got to be coachable. I mean, you just got to be coachable and do what your coach says. Like, I tell people when I bring them on and do their orientation all the time, Drill, like, just if you don't know why, ask, but just trust that what we're doing is to help you. Right? I am an open book. If you want to know why you need to make a call or why you need to talk to your mom or your grandma, your dog, whatever, like, just ask. Like, I'm not trying to hide anything from you, but just be coachable.
Cool.
Yep. Hey, just keep going. You know, you're in a sowing season. A lot of people quit in their sowing season and they never make it to their reaping season, right? So just keep going. Keep doing the things that you're being asked to do by your leaders, and eventually, man, you'll start to reap the rewards. So drop that
That's good.
bombshell, then. Jarrell.
All right. Dude,
Hey, I was gonna say, hey,
I got a rapid fire. All right, here, right here. You see that? Contacts. And then what you do is you go back to list, and on an iPhone, right here, is 3,309 people. And all you have to do is just press send. Just call people, set appointments. Hey, it's Nate. Listen, I want to show you something that I've been doing on the side. I want to show you, because if you or anyone you know in the future could benefit from what I'm doing, I just want you to feel comfortable enough referring me to other people. So as far as us getting together, what's good for you tomorrow or the next day? That's it. 20% of people say yes. Your income will go up. You'll have a powerful fourth quarter finish. You'll have a year-end finish. You'll have momentum heading into 2026 and have a completely different life 3 years from now, I promise.
Good. So who's ready for the bombshell announcement?
Give us the bombshell!
If you're ready for the bombshell announcement, I gotta see if y'all still up and y'all still live. Put your favorite emoji in the chat. Put your favorite emoji in the chat. So Jerome, what's the details? I know it has something to do with does that have something to do with food or something like that? What's the bombshell, Coop?
I was yeah, man. So the bombshell. I was trying to unmute myself and send that fire emoji. All right, man. So listen, bombshell announcement. You guys know we got a big event coming up. Big event coming up. Builder School right around the corner. And we are having this will be our third as a group here, Friday Night Live group, our third dinner with the winners. Dinner with the winners, man. So we got a special night, actually 2 days planned for you guys, right? So we got a special night Friday night of dinner with all of the winners. We're working on some guest speakers for you guys. Also, man, Nate's gonna order in his favorite Italian a restaurant. We're gonna have that catered in for you guys. We're gonna have guest speakers, man. And Nate's gonna open up his home tour. That's gonna be great. And then Saturday after the event, we're taking those same winners. We're gonna see how well your golf swing is at Top Golf, Auburn Hills, Michigan. So man, we're excited about that. So Jarrell, if you want to go ahead and give them the details and what they need to do to win, that'll be good.
Also,
So listen, I'm excited.
Are confirmed. Amy
Who you
Crocchiolo,
got?
6-figure earners. Sarah Fallett, 6-figure earners, and they're both bringing their top winner with them to the dinner here at the house.
Sarah
So we're gonna
Fallett,
open up our house, guys.
basement.
If you haven't been to our basement yet, it is pretty sweet. We have an open bar. We'll have cocktails and everything for you. It's going to be amazing.
So, in order to be a part of this, top two personal producers in each regional vice president's organization. And so when I say personal producers, Mike, that's Life Premium, Megan, that's people that you help with life insurance. And so whoever helps the most people between what's the date, Ron? We're between now and end of the month, right?
Yeah.
Now and end of the month.
Yeah.
Now and the end of the month. So what's today, y'all? September 12th. And so everybody has a fair shot, right? The end of the month is what? How many days in September, y'all? 30. So month end is October 1st, midnight Eastern Standard Time, right? And so the top two in each organization. So look, you got Coach Dan's on here. So the top two in his organization. You got Coach Jerome on here. Top two in this organization. You got Coach Nate on here. Top two in this organization. Come on, Jeremy, make sure you're there because we got to celebrate Go Green, right, baby? And so then you got the Fearless Hustlers organizations, top two, right? And so you guys got some time. And so we're dropping this bombshell tonight, right? And trust you got some value from it tonight. But if you guys are fired up, don't put it in this chat, but go put it in your Telegram chat and go put some fire emojis if you're fired up about the dinners with winners. But then also share your top takeaway, right? Share your top takeaway. Nate's telling you guys to pick up the phone and call, right? Pick up the phone and call. And so listen, y'all, to round us all out, life will always be life, right? Life is always gonna be life and breezy, but it's how you push through it. You know, Jerome, you talked about being tough, and so like this is a good book. I don't get paid off this, y'all, but you should go read this. It's called Toughen Up. It'll help you get through everything, right? And it's a great read. I mean, Jackie and I just started reading it together, and we're just really Roma has it too. So we're just excited, y'all. But listen, this is it. This is the fourth quarter, Jeremy. This is put it all on the table, right? Put all your marbles out there and just go have some fun. That's the biggest thing. Go have some fun. Look, Nate has it too. Look, see, I'm like a squirrel. I
Jerome,
get
where's
distracted,
yours,
right?
bro?
And I see Jerome. Look, he has to have it, y'all. He has to have it. But listen, like I lost my train of thought. Let's go win. Let's go have some fun. Lock on with your coaches. They're here to help you grow. They're here to help you win, right? And just be free, right? Go have the freedom like Nate's talking about. And so we're excited. We can't wait to see you guys at Midwest Builder School. Go get your ticket, and we will see you guys